Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome back. So, in previous chapters, Krishna has already revealed some parts of knowledge to Arjuna. Namely, he talked about the universe, how the universe is created also. He talked about the soul, what is how the soul enters into material world, what it does in this material world, and how it can be relieved from this material conditioning through acquiring knowledge. And he already revealed different degrees of knowledge that can be obtained through different processes, different types of yoga, and also through, including karma yoga. And further on, Krishna carries on talking about where this different yoga, to which level these different yogas can take a person. And we are already at the chapter where Krishna reveals even more confidential knowledge to Arjuna, which is the supreme knowledge, which is the knowledge about how a conditioned soul, living entity, can perfect itself and go back to the Godhead. So in this chapter, Krishna starts to talk directly himself. Supreme Personality of the Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence." As a devotee hears more and more about Supreme Lord, he becomes enlightened. This hearing process is recommended in different scriptures, in Srimad Bhagavatam itself. The messages of Supreme Personality of Godhead are full of potencies, and these potencies can be realized if topics regarding the Supreme Godhead are discussed amongst devotees. This is a very important point. But this cannot be achieved by association with mental speculators and academic scholars, because the knowledge that Krishna is talking here is a realized knowledge. You should have a realization of this knowledge. Otherwise, it's not considered a supreme knowledge. When a devotee is engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord, he's supposed to be always engaged in the service. The Lord understands the mentality and the sincerity of this devotee and gives him the intelligence to understand the science of Krishna consciousness. But this should happen in association with devotees. Hence, it is very important that we discuss things about Krishna. And this discussion is very important. And if a person is fortunate enough, such association and such discussion, through such associations, he can assimilate this knowledge and thus advance in his spiritual realization. Here, Krishna is trying to encourage Arjuna to elevate to higher position or higher level in his service. And this discloses how this can be achieved within this chapter. So, and here Krishna also emphasizes that he is imparting this most confidential knowledge to Arjuna because Arjuna is not envious. He never envied Krishna. Because envy is an impediment. Arjuna's heart was clean. Therefore, he was able to understand to comprehend what Krishna was telling him. But if a person or a living entity is envious, the spiritual knowledge will not be realized by such a person because that envy will be an impediment. If one, Krishna also says that if one is situated in this confidential knowledge, sorry, not Krishna, but Srila Prabhupada explains to us in this purport that if one is situated in such a confidential knowledge of Krishna, he is already a transcendental person. It means that he is a liberated person, and he thus attains the pure devotee status. That means that such a person does not have any material pangs any longer, although he is still living in this material world. He Yeah, and this is very important to remember that only with such a pure intentions, with unalloyed service, you can attain the highest realization without which it is not possible to be relieved of this material existence and to get back to the Godhead, to get back to the spiritual world. Krishna further tells, this knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and is joyfully performed. People are generally not educated in this confidential knowledge. They usually have external knowledge, and this ordinary education also is construed according to some departments. Yeah, that covers politics, psychology, physics, chemistry, and other types of knowledge. But different universities serve to provide this knowledge. However, none of the universities in this material world are currently concentrated or giving any spiritual studies and spiritual knowledge to students, which is very important. Because if we don't understand the soul and why this transcendental knowledge is necessary, all the things that we know is simply an information and has no value for us in terms of higher goals that we are supposed to achieve. And here, Krishna also, says that this knowledge is everlasting, and it can be, it is usually joyfully performed. To obtain this knowledge, all that we need is sincerity, the sincerity of heart, um, and we don't really need specific, capacities like being very uh, uh, learning oriented or have some, qualifications. This knowledge can be imparted on anybody who sincerely believes in God and sincerely wants to serve Him. And this is however, it is transferred through pure devotees. So through an association with pure devotee, one can obtain this kind of knowledge. And for that, you are supposed only to, listen to what this pure devotee talk about Krishna and um, try to get involved in devotional service. Actually, these devotees can give you the direction how to do that. And to illustrate that, we can recall the story of Narada Muni, how he has become such a person as he is. He was, as we know, the son of uh, a servant woman. He had no father, and that means that he had no means to go to Gurukul, to obtain, to have a guru, to be, no, to enter that system. But by the fortune of fate, during the monsoon season, some sages stayed at their home, and his mother was serving them, cooking for them, and those sages were discussing highest matters. Uh, this is what sages usually do during the monsoon season. And Narada, in his previous birth as the son of this servant woman, he was simply listening to that, and he was not really understanding it because he did not have any knowledge at all. He was not studying anywhere. He did not have the means to do that. But by listening to that, them and then by associating with the sages and by respecting the remnants of their prasadam, Narada became Krishna conscious. He was so lucky, but that revealed in him when he lost his mother due to the accident and he was left all alone. He remembered everything that the sages were talking about, and he, right, he left everything behind. He and went to seek the god. And then he further purified, and thus he managed to attain the highest position. He is the sage among the demigods who has the potency to travel anywhere in this world and serve the Bhagavan like that. So we should remember those sincerity and not being envious is very important. Let's read further. So those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me, or conqueror of enemies. Therefore, they return to the path of birth and death in this material world. Faithless people cannot accomplish the process of devotional service, as this verse is telling us. Faith, though, is created only by association with devotees. Unfortunate people, even after hearing all this evidence from Vedic literature, still have no faith in God. They are hesitant and cannot stay in devotional service. Thus, faith is most important factor for progress in Krishna consciousness. This is conferred in Chaitanya Charitamrita and other verses where it is said that faith is the complete conviction that simply by serving the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, one can achieve all the perfection. And this is what is a real faith. And the devotional service does not mean that you have to just, you have to be very learned in scriptures and in yagyas and things like that. Devotional service can be conducted by giving simple offerings like water and but doing that with love. If you do that with love, Krishna will accept it, and thus a person with this reciprocation from Krishna will increase in faith and increase in Krishna consciousness. Now, so the process of developing the faith is actually the process of Krishna consciousness. And there are different types of Krishna conscious people who have this faith. They're at the beginning stage when they have some faith, but are not fully fixed in it. This kind of people, they might fall down. But if they re-engage in Krishna consciousness, fall down meaning go back to the, material way of living. But if they re-engage in Krishna consciousness, they can further progress and thus attain higher levels. But faith is very important in discharging devotional service. Without faith, we cannot act in Krishna conscious manner. Further, Krishna is saying, by me in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. Yes, Krishna here describes to Arjuna in more detail how this material manifestation is under his control. Yatna by me in my unmanifested form. This entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. That indicates that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not perceivable through material senses. Shri Krishna's name, fame, pastime cannot be understood through material senses. Only those who are engaged in pure devotional service, but under proper guidance, can understand him. And he reveals himself to this kind of persons. Krishna is all pervading and he is present everywhere, but he is not conceivable by material senses. But that means he is avyakta murtina. We actually cannot see him, though everything is resting in him. But here we should also bear in mind and should not conclude that because he spreads himself over everything, he thus cease to have his personal existence. He is a personality, but his all-pervasive nature is his specific and special potency that only he possesses. And thus, we cannot perceive these potencies through our limited material senses. We should have faith that this is so. Further, Krishna says, and yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Yeah, he further opens up this topic. Behold my magic opulence. He himself tells us that that is his magic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, although I am everywhere, I am not part of this cosmic manifestation. For myself is very the source of this creation. Now, Krishna, he himself says that everything is resting on him, but we should not misunderstand that. The Lord is not directly concerned with the maintenance of sustenance of these material manifestations. We should not think that he is like Atlas holding this world. We have seen this picture, yeah? He maintains this manifestation or cosmic manifestation through his mystic opulences, through his potencies. We talked about the potencies of Krishna in previous chapter, where he explained that he had internal potencies and external potencies. So this external energy is holding and maintaining or creating and maintaining and annihilating this manifestation, but they do that under the control and pursuant to Krishna's will. He himself does not have to do anything with that. It's like the government structure. Yeah, we have the president, the ministers, and the entire ministries and departments under them. Yeah, which take care of the entire country. However, they do that under the rule of the king. So similarly, Krishna is behind everything, but he himself is not involved in this maintenance. He stands aloof of that. And he does that through his mystic power, through the material energy that is also the part of him. Understand that as the mighty mind, well, we should, and he, in this verse, he explains how we should understand this very well. Understand that as the mighty wind, blowing everywhere, rests always in the sky. All created beings rest in me. So this is a very good allegory, yeah? The winds uh, are very mighty, and they blow in different directions and can bring fortune and misfortune, but they, so to say, operate within the sky, not beyond the sky. So similarly, everything is covered by Krishna, inside the Krishna, but he is not operating like the wind in the space. He has his ministers, the demigods, to do that work. O son of Kunti, at the end of millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. The creation and maintenance and annihilation of material cosmic manifestation is completely dependent on the supreme will of the personality of Godhead. Here, millennium is meaning the period of the Brahma's lifespan, where the end of millennium is when Brahma dies, and the beginning of another millennium is when the next Brahma is born. We know that Brahma lives for 100 years, and one day of Brahma is 4,300,000,000 years of earthly years. And this night is of the similar duration, and that the month is consisting of 30 days and the year of 12 months. So you can imagine what a big periods of time we are talking about here. But anyway, all this manifestation is annihilated when Brahma dies. But Supreme Lord can again manifest that through his will by simply looking at the material nature. The whole cosmic order is under me, says Krishna further. Under my will, it is automatically manifested again and again, and under my will, it is annihilated at the end. Oh, Dhananjana, all this work cannot bind me. I am ever detached from all these material activities, seated as though neutral. Well, here Krishna once again emphasizes that he, although he creates everything through his will, he is not bound by this creation. He is engaged in this manifestation, but is not bound by it, and is detached from all material activities. Krishna is always involved in his eternal, blissful, and spiritual activities, but he has nothing to do with material activities. These material activities are carried out by his different potencies. Krishna is always neutral in this created world. The example can be given of here of a high court judge to understand this better. Yeah, the high court judge he does a lot of things, and by his order, many things are done. Like some people are in jail, some people are um, punished, some people gain some benefits from the rulings of the judge, but he has nothing to do with all that gain and loss. Yeah, similarly, uh, because he is neutral in these processes. Similarly, Krishna is also neutral to the material activities. Whatever the living entities are getting in this material world, like the different forms and conditions of life, they are getting that according to their past deeds and past desires. This material nature is one of my energies, is working under my direction of son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving being. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. Though Krishna is neutral, as he mentioned in previous verse, and he stands aloof from this material world, he still remains the supreme director of it. However, and this manifestation is conducted by material energy. Krishna tells us in Bhagavad Gita that all living entities have different forms and species, but he is the father of them all. So as father gives seeds to the womb of the mother for a child to be born, similarly, Krishna, with his mere glance, injects living entities into the material world, nature, and thus they obtain this different form and species, as we mentioned, according to their past lives, their past deeds and desires. And so he is not directly attached, but with his simple glance, he manifests some material nature, activates it, and activating it means that these new cycles are starting to work again. But he is not involved in this working of material nature directly. Fools deride me when I descend in this human form. They do not know my transcendental nature and the supreme Lord of all that be. Here, Krishna also mentions that he descends into this material world in human form. But his human form is not to be understood as our body. He does not obtain, and he is not becoming a human being. He is transcendental. He is um, having a different nature. He is a spiritual nature and not material. But when he descends in this human form as Krishna in Vrindavan, not everybody can understand his transcendental nature. That's why usually people around him think that he is an ordinary human with some extraordinary potencies, but this is not true. Only an ignorant persons can think so. Prabhupada even says that even names them foolish who consider him to be an ordinary man. And Krishna's has transcendental qualities. His body is full of bliss and knowledge, though he appears in as if in a human body. And this has been commented by different scholars and by scriptures itself. I want to find this, Prabhupada in the purport cites the first chapter of first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which says that Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, along with Balarama, played like a human being, and so mastered performance many superhuman acts. And he performed many superhuman acts. How could a human being perform superhuman acts if Krishna acquired a human form? And this contradiction bewilders unknowledgeable people, and that's why they start to, consider him as a mere man and deride him. Krishna says here that this is not so, and that we should not fall under this illusion and should not listen to people who are talking like that. Further, Krishna says, those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demoniac and atheistic views. In that deluded conditions, their hopes for the liberation, their furtive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. Many devotees assume themselves to be in Krishna consciousness and devotional service, but at heart they do not accept Krishna as absolute truth and supreme personalities of Godhead. So the result of devotional service, even if they are engaged in it, meaning going back to Godhead, going back to the spiritual world, is never attainable for them. They will never be able to have that taste. And similarly, who are those who are engaged in simply pious activities, and who hope that they will be liberated, they will not be successful because thus they deride the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, persons who mock Krishna will never be able to understand him, and they should be regarded as demoniac and atheistic people. And it is a great offense to consider Krishna to be an ordinary man. And thus they will never attain the real knowledge and will always remain under delusion and will regress to the darkest regions of creation if they carry on such practices. Further, Krishna says, "O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible." In this verse, Krishna describes Mahatmas. This is the sign of a Mahatma, that he is already situated in divine nature. He is not deluded, and he is thus protected by divine nature, and he is not controlled by material nature. Mahatma means a person who is not diverting his attention to anything outside Krishna. He knows perfectly well that Krishna is the Supreme Person and the cause of all causes, and he has no doubts about it. And if such Mahatma develops, anybody can become such a Mahatma if he is associating with other Mahatmas, with pure devotees, and he can develop this qualification in him as well and become a Mahatma. Sorry, it takes some time to get to next verse. "Always chanting my glories and enduring the great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship with devotion." So here Krishna explains how this kind of personalities are behaving. He gives us the symptoms of such a person. Mahatma is a person who is always engaged in chanting the glories of Krishna. He has no other business. He is always engaged in glorification. And that also means that this kind of person can never be an impersonalist. Because impersonalists do not have the concept of glorifying somebody, yeah? And he is enduring this with a great determination. He is so attached to the Supreme Lord, but his determination is very strong. He is always respecting, bowing, paying obeisances to Krishna, and always worshipping him with devotion, without cessation. There is no gaps in his devotion. Only such a person is a Mahatma. Others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge, worship of the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, diverse in many and in the universal form. Now, yeah, this verse that it is a kind of a summary of the previous verses. Here, Krishna tells Arjuna that those who are pure in Krishna consciousness do not know anything except Krishna, and that are called Mahatmas. However, there are other people, other persons who are not exactly in the position of Mahatma, but who also worship Krishna in different ways. Some of them we have already been discussed and described as those who are in distress, who are financially destitute or inquisitive, or those who are engaged in cultivation of knowledge. But there are some others still who are on a lower level, and those others are also divided into three categories. Those who worship themselves as one with Supreme Lord. They respect, they understand themselves as souls. They understand that Supreme Lord is present in their hearts, and they worship themselves as Supreme Lords as well. Those who concoct some form of Supreme Lord and worship that, and those who accept the universal form or Vishwarupa, of the Supreme Personality, and worship that. Those who worship themselves are the lowest, and those are usually impersonalists. But those, however, these impersonalists worship in their way, and they are not entitled through such a service to achieve the highest goal. The second class that Krishna mentions here are those who worship demigods, that they consider any form to be the Supreme Lord. And the third class, Krishna, Prabhupada is mentioning in his purport, is those who cannot conceive anything beyond the manifestation of this material universe. And they think that this universe, material universe, is the organism, the entity, and the Supreme Personality, and they worship that. This is also a form of worship the Lord. However, it does not bring the person to the highest goal, highest liberation. Further, Krishna says, but it is also I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, this transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering. Here, um, Krishna further reveals his potencies. He says that he is the ritual, he is the sacrifice, the offering, the ancestors, whomever we are, worshiping. He is all that, even the healing herbs and the transcendental chants. He is the butter or the ghee that is offered into the fire, and the fire itself, and the offering itself. I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable Om. I am also the Rig, the Sama, and the Yajurvedas. The entire cosmic manifestation, moving or no moving, are manifested by the different activities of Krishna's energies. In the material existence, we create different relationships with different living entities who are nothing but Krishna's marginal energy. Under the creation of Prakriti, some of them appear as our father, mother, grandfather, and so on. But actually, they are parts and parcels of Krishna. Uh, and as such, these living entities are nothing but Krishna himself. Yeah, this is how Prabhupada is explaining to us what Krishna taught in this verse, that he is the father of the universe. Uh, um, Actually, any living entity is the part of parcel of Krishna. Thus, any living entity is Krishna. All Vedas uh, also are aiming at Krishna. Hence, all Vedas are also Krishna. Whatever we want to know through Vedas uh, is gradually progressing ours towards Krishna. Uh, and hence, everything that is written in Rig Veda, Samaveda, this three Vedas is Krishna himself. I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, and the resting place and the eternal seat. So the goal towards which we are moving is described here. And Krishna says that he is this goal. He is the ultimate goal. Though people do not really know it. Um, so for those who does not know that Krishna is the ultimate goal, they are misled, and they are understanding of spirituality is partial. And thus, the lack of this knowledge makes them choose as their destination serving some demigod and performing some tapasyas, and through that they can reach different planets. But all these planets are created by Krishna, uh, and they are simultaneously Krishna and not Krishna's. Thus, they are not reaching the Krishna's abode. They need to be engaged in devotional service to make to forward in real Krishna's consciousness, to realize Krishna. So Krishna says that here he is thus everything: the sustainer, the master, the witness, the hope, the refuge, and the most dear friend. And he is the most the better well-wisher of the all living entities, because he is the original source of creation, and everything rests in him. Um, and he is the cause of all causes. Further, Krishna says, "O Arjuna, I give heat and I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me." Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seek the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Purified and sinful reactions, purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planets of Indra, where they enjoy bodily delights. Now, here Krishna already is describing how those who worship Vedas uh, and not are not directly worshipping him, because they are through worshipping and studying Vedas, they are trying to reach heavenly planets. But reaching heavenly planets does not mean that they got the ultimate liberation. Only the devotional service provides such an opportunity to relieve or escape from this material universe and get the final liberation by joining Krishna in his abode. Otherwise, the person who might be pious and through studying Vedas, he might reach the heavenly planets like the planet of Indra, but and can enjoy living there in a higher standard than he can enjoy here. But anyway, he will have to when this he exhausts his pious karma, he will have to come back to the Earth planet to be able to continue his spiritual development. That is not a pure liberation. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure, Krishna says in the next verse, and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek some enjoyment by adhering to the principles of three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. Here, Krishna um, straightforwardly says that those people are destined to go through circle of birth and death again until they purify their heart to the level to be engaged in the pure pure devotional service, unalloyed devotional service, and thus getting rid of miserable material existence. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack, and I preserve what they have. Krishna in this verse reassures us that for those who cannot live without Krishna consciousness, if he who are 24 hours engaged in devotional service to him by hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, worshiping him, serving his lotus feet, rendering other services, and cultivating, threshing, and surrendering fully to Krishna. Uh, Only those people through such activities um, can obtain full spiritual potencies and can perfect in self-realization and thus achieve association with the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. And such devotees can approach the Lord without difficulties. And this is the Bhakti Yoga, which guarantees to the devotee who is practicing this Bhakti, this yoga, that he will never come back to material conditions of life. And here, Krishna assures them that he, in reciprocation to such a devotion, will supply them with whatever they lack, if they are not successful within this lifetime to reach the ultimate goal, and will preserve whatever they have already accumulated for his further progress. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, of son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. Krishna here says that even due to the level of their consciousness, people are not fully engaging in Krishna consciousness, or fully they don't have faith fully in Krishna's supremacy, but are still devotees of other gods and worship them. They actually worship Krishna because these other gods, the demigods, are parts and parcels of Krishna. But here Krishna indicates that their path is not very right. They are doing this worship in a wrong way. And further, he tells Arjuna that I am the only enjoyer and master of all the sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize me my true transcendental nature fall down. Here, um, uh, here it is clear that other types of yagyas that are recommended by Vedic literatures uh, are meant for satisfaction of Lord. uh, uh, because Yagya means Vishnu. We talked about that in the third chapter. Uh, and uh, these forms of human civilizations through Varnashnaradраha is meant to for the satisfaction of Vishnu. And in other words, here Krishna is telling that he is the only enjoyer of all that sacrifices and the supreme master of everything. Um, but less intelligent persons does not know this fact, so they continue worshipping demigods for temporary benefits. And that these benefits are temporary, Krishna indicates here as well in this verse that if people don't recognize him as the master and the supreme enjoyer, and that he is transcendental nature, they will definitely fall down. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the to the ancestors, and those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. Here, Krishna uh, clearly shows us that these different types of worship bring different results. Those who worship demigods, they are born at the planets of demigods. Who are worshiping ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits, and there are people like that. Those are those worshippers are actually involved in black arts. They take birth amongst such beings, but only those who worship Krishna himself will reach him and will live with him. This is a very a tremendous promise from Krishna's part, yeah, and a very good explanation why a living entity should be interested in worshipping Krishna. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit of water, I will accept it. Uh, Here, Krishna shows us that worshipping him is not that it easy after all. It does not require um, big wealth or any tremendous effort. Uh, he says that the only thing that he is interested in is the love and devotion. And if a person is offering uh, uh, him even a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water with love and devotion, he will accept that. Here it's also an indication what uh, uh, what Krishna is favoring, yeah, as offering, especially in terms of um, edibles. Yeah, we should not ever offer meat and this kind of products to Krishna. Krishna happily accepts leaf, flower, fruits, and water. This is also an important aspect that should be emphasized. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. Here, Krishna gives us also very clear instruction how one can mm, worship Krishna uh, and how one can be fully engaged in uh, devotional service in Krishna consciousness. He directly says, whatever one is doing, whether it is eating or performing austerities or making donation or making an offering or conducting other devotional activities or whatever activity a person is doing, this should be done as an offering to him. Uh, and this is Krishna consciousness, and this is the devotional service when everything that we do in our life is offered to him. It's actually a meditation. Or all we should be we are doing, we should be doing in such a meditative process as an offering to Krishna. In this way, you will be freed from bondage to work and its inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. So such attitude, such a state of consciousness frees us from the bondage to work and get the results of our work, whether auspicious or inauspicious. If we are capable of uh, of such a renunciation and following this renunciation, we will be liberated and will Krishna promises that thus we will be able to come to him. I'm over the time already, so let me read for more faster. I envy no one, and I am partial to anyone. Nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders me service in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. Here, Krishna says that although he is impartial uh, to everybody, and he does not envy anyone. He still is very is mm, mm, partial towards it, so to say, towards uh, his devotees who render him service in devotion. He is considering them as a friend, and he also is a friend to him. Uh, But here it is very important that person should be a devotee. That is very important. It's like, you know, you might be impartial to everybody, but you pay more attention to your own kin, yeah, to your sisters and brothers and close friends. Though you might have the common, you might be wisher to everybody. So that also comes to us from Krishna in a sense, because we are parts and parcels of him. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. Here, Krishna, where this verse says that, yeah, to become pure in devotional service, you need to progress stage by stage. It's not done in a second, yeah, but on this path, while you are not fixed in devotional service, but have such a determination, you might still fall down and conduct out of previous, habits, some abominable actions. However, this does not disqualify you. That means if you are still determined to continue devotional service, you should be considered as saintly because you will purify in this process uh, and never go back to your previous conditional existence. He even says that such a person should be considered a saintly person. So the most important thing is to be determined in your service and pursuing your duties properly. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly to my devotee, that my devotee never perishes. Yeah, as we've mentioned, such a person, like if a person is dirty and staying in a shower, he will definitely clean himself. Therefore, similarly, a person who is determined in devotional will service will quickly become righteous despite all his past, attachments, and will attain a lasting peace. And he assures um, Arjuna that such a person, such a devotee, will never perish. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, or Shudras can attain the supreme destination. It's also a very important verse, yeah? Uh, if a person um, uh, surrenders to Krishna, takes shelter of Krishna, it does not really matter whether he is of higher birth, an educated person, or otherwise elevated. Even women who, uh, by the time when this was written, were not very learned, and Vaishyas who are under the mostly under the uh, um, Raja Guna and Tamaguna influences, and Shudras who are under Tamaguna influence, they can also become, can attain the the supreme goal of this life. They can liberate themselves and obtain Krishna consciousness if they are engaged in devotional service and take refuge of Krishna, if they surrender to Krishna and take his shelter. So it means that all it is required is the faith and determined devotional service that will purify their hearts to the level to become fully Krishna conscious and obtain liberation thus. How much more this is so for the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary, miserable world, engaged in loving service unto me. So Krishna says that if even those who are of a lower birth can obtain this knowledge and can reach me, the righteous Brahmanas, devotees, and saintly kings are even more have more capacity and opportunity to do so. So here there is he says that the conclusion is should be that when we come to this temporary world full of miseries, the only path that we should look for and follow is engaging in loving service in loving service of Krishna, and thus obtaining the perfection of life. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Here Krishna again assures Arjuna that if he will engage his mind always in thinking about Krishna, uh, by becoming his devotee and worshipping him and paying his obeisance, he will become completely absorbed in him, and he will surely be taken back to his abode. Krishna will award such a fruit eventually to such a pure devotee. And yeah, this is how this chapter is ending. So the main message here was that pure devotional service is the only platform, that is the only path that could lead a living entity to supreme perfection and will guarantee to him the liberation from this samsara and obtaining Krishna's abode, going back to Krishna to live in his world, on his planet, to further continue serving him. It's not like obtaining such perfection, a person stops to render devotional service. Quite on the contrary, soul cannot stop serving Krishna. Yeah, it's simply a completely another dimension that the soul has the capacity to serve Krishna in a different position. So this is it for today. If you have any questions, please, or want to discuss it further, though I've taken too much time today to cover this chapter, but it is a very important chapter to understand and to follow. Hare Krishna. So,
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for this amazing lecture.
okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
See you next Thursday, because it will be me again giving the class, well, reading the Gita next Thursday as well. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.